Based on a New York Times best thriller, comes 56 Days, starring Dove Cameron. A story of love.
Oh, sorry. I'm Oliver.
I'm Ciara.
Lies.
So do you like secrets?
No, I like reveals.
Seduction.
It's like they were obsessed with each other.
And murder.
What do you got here? Body in a bathtub.
56 Days. Premieres February 18th on Prime Video.
I'm gonna get you.
Not if I get you first.
We finished last year by watching Kiwi Christmas.
We're starting this year by watching The Quiet Earth.
The Connection. Is they're both New Zealand films.
Oh, are they? Didn't see many sheep in either of them, to be honest.
Welcome to Oldie but a Goodie, and welcome to a new season of Oldie but a Goodie, the only podcast where you can listen to two white cis men podcasters talk about movies. It's the only one that exists, and so I'm sure everyone's excited for us to get back to it.
I mean, you could have said it's the only one, you know, with all of the things you said, that has to review movies that are connected to the last movie they did and they can't ever reuse that connection again. You could have used the gimmick.
That sounds really oddly specific, Sandro. And
oh, okay. You wanted it to be more broad.
I wanted to sound better with how broadly wide our reach is, you know, how diverse our cast is here.
It's true. It is very true.
But yeah, it's a brand new season-ish. It's sort of a part 2 season of our continuing series of The Connections, where we are connecting each movie to the previous movie. Last year, we watched Kiwi Christmas, probably the best movie we've ever watched on the podcast.
Oh, ever, yeah. Out of 300 and however many episodes. It's one of the best ever of all time.
Way better than Silence of the Lambs. That was a
what the
garbage
fuck is your issue with that movie? I still don't... it's been a week since that episode came out, and I still don't understand your joke. Answer yourself, Zach.
But this week, we're watching The Quiet Earth. Another great New Zealand movie. The only thing I regret about watching The Quiet Earth is that I used up the connection to New Zealand film.
It's
because
true. You did.
I really liked the options for the New Zealand films. But now it's impossible for me to ever put a New Zealand film ever.
Completely impossible. We can never do another...
I will definitely not have 4 New Zealand films next week for us to choose from.
Completely impossible. I definitely don't have a bunch in my options at the end of the episode either. Definitely impossible. Completely.
All right.
Also, your name is Zach. My name's Sandra. I don't know if you said that.
Oh, I forgot about that. No, I definitely did not.
Oh. Well, hello. And
Hi,
welcome.
Nice to meet you.
Zach, if people haven't heard the last season of episodes, we did this for 50 episodes, I think, and we have a bunch of connections. And these are connections we could ever use again. Because that's right, we're keeping the rule where connections that we use to bridge movies, once they're used, can never be used again. We can potentially be like New Zealand film, and then which is your connection, and then I could potentially use the connection of filmed in Wellington.
Wow. Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that's disgusting.
I wouldn't, and I haven't used that for this week.
That would be crazy. But also, you named my birth city, so I'm kind of biased into allowing you to do. If you named any other city in New Zealand, I would have been like, no, absolutely not. How dare you? But you went and deep cutted for that one, and you know what? I respect that.
But yeah, every connection that we used last year is banned. Connections like is a ripoff of Star Wars. That's one of my favorites.
A great one. Very applicable to a lot of movies.
Connections like using illegitimate means to obtain a large amount of currency.
That quite broad, I think, actually.
Connections
that one's
like
surprisingly
released
broad.
within a week of our editor's birthday.
There's a specific time frame that we can never use again.
Can never do it again. So anyway, we'll just there's a big back catalog of episodes and a bunch of connections. I really should like make that public somewhere. Oh no, it is public. It's on my Letterboxd. There's a list of every movie that we've done and their connections. You can go and have a look at every connection we've done there if you want. Anyway. I'm really excited to talk about The Quiet Earth because we're kicking off a brand new season that's going to be the same and exactly the same, and nothing's changing.
I can't wait for our review this year to be just 2 hours of dead silence of the official review of The Quiet Earth is 2 hours of us just sitting here silently, you know?
Well, shall we kick it off then with some first impressions
Whoa!
of the movie The Quiet Earth from 1985? Zach, you picked it. What's your first impressions? Oh, also, where did you've got a story for it's time for story time.
Where did you watch this film, Zach?
Yeah.
Because Sandro knows where I watched this film. Because and you might be asking, why would that be important? It's because I watched it in New Zealand.
What?
That's the
hell?
context that Sandro has.
I knew that.
Is that I messaged him at some day on some hour, and I was like, hey, lol. Oh, no. I think I was in the stream.
Yeah, I think you were in
You
my
were
stream.
streaming. Yeah, that's right. And I let you know that I had watched the New Zealand film that we were watching. I went full film bro, and it's like the only place you can possibly watch this film to get the best possible experience is to watch it in the place where it was made, New Zealand.
Wow.
Because, over the holiday period, I flew over to New Zealand for my grandmother's 80th.
Oh, wow.
Shout out to Nana.
Shout out to someone who you won't let listen to the show, despite how much she wants to.
I have told her multiple times where to go. It is the power of technology which prevents her. And I am forever grateful.
And the power of both of us saying the word fuck. Anyway.
Well, here's the thing. It's not like I've told her the name of the podcast. Like, she has all the tools to get there.
Yes.
But I won't actually help her find it. Like, if I spend 5 minutes, I could probably get her listening to it.
Yeah.
However, I have not done that. Anyway.
Look, this is all very fair and valid. Anyway.
She's living her best life. And we had a great time in New Zealand. She had a great 80th. It was very lovely.
Wait, so did you watch this with her? Or slash your family?
No, I watched this in the downtime of my holiday. Trying to relax. Technically, all right, I'll spoil this. I watched it in the airport.
Oh, that kind of worse, actually, a little bit.
Yes, there's a scene in this movie where I was like, man, I should not have watched this before boarding a plane. So I watched it before boarding.
Yeah.
I think I actually finished it on the plane.
Wow, okay.
If I recall, because I watched most of it before boarding, and then I finished it on the plane. And then I watched all of the first Lord of the Rings extended edition on the plane.
Oh.
Which finished literally just as we landed.
Yeah.
Which was well timed.
Pretty impressive.
And now, it was pretty baller.
You can never watch the Two Towers or Return of the King until you're flying to and from New Zealand.
No, I have to
now,
wait to fly to New Zealand again to continue the series.
Exactly, yeah.
You know. But I will say, I was at a holiday and I was chilling. I was drinking a beer. And you know what? I did have to hide the screen ever so slightly when things appeared on screen while I was in the middle of an airport. And I felt very uncomfortable. But it was a good time. I enjoyed this film. I had a great old time. I was like, oh yeah, I used to watch films to enjoy them instead of reviewing them, you know? and because we had a little break, you know, we had chilled out. This was good fun. I enjoyed this a lot.
Yeah, I didn't watch much high art during the break. I watched the movie Leprechaun, and I also watched Hellraiser 2. But I
thought you said you didn't watch high art.
I think that it's been a while since I've watched a movie critically, and this is definitely a really good one to get back into it with. Just the vibe, just everything about it. As you said, chilling with a beer, maybe not in public, but, chilling out with a drink is the best way to watch this movie, no matter what the drink is.
This is sitting on the couch, very specifically chilling.
Yeah.
Is the best context. An airport lobby is not the best place to watch this film.
No.
However, it is the place where I watched it. And you know what? It was pretty good doing that.
I will also say this movie gives me 3 p.m. on a Sunday, watching SBS kind of vibes. That's the vibe it gives me, where they're like, and now it's time for our international movie extravaganza, and it's like a New Zealand movie, and you're like, okay, you're stretching it a little bit. I was expecting something like a Japanese epic or something, but it's like, no, we're going to New Zealand, we're going to watch The Quiet Earth with no ad breaks, and then you watch it and you're like, hell yeah.
I mean, that sounds pretty good to me. I mean, New Zealand is a different place from here, Sandra. You cannot deny them that.
That is true. It is slightly further away than Tasmania.
I mean, well, like... oh, man. I didn't even think about that. Surely there's got to be some Tasmania movies out there, right?
Movies about... They're all very depressing. The ones I've seen, at least, because they're all about... They're all about colonizers and shit, so they're not very nice to watch. They're not as nice to watch as this one.
Oh, great.
Movies in Tassie are a bit fucked, actually, because they're all about history.
Much like what The Hobbit did to the entire film industry in New Zealand. Ha ha.
Yeah.
Anyway. So you enjoyed this film? You thought it was good?
I really enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. I think it's not a whole lot going on in it, which I think was really cool.
No.
It looks good, and it's all good, and the acting is really good, and the music's really good. It's just a really good mystery. And I also found it very funny and sad and everything. Yeah. Everything hit. It was great.
You know who would like this film?
Who would like this film?
Ben.
I told him to watch it. He said he wanted to read the book first.
Oh my god, that's such a Ben response.
I'll tell him to read the book as soon as possible so we can watch it. I agree with you.
Yeah, because this reminded me actually a bit of the Nicolas Cage movie we watched with him, the Angel one.
Oh, we watched the original one. Yeah.
The original one.
No. What the fuck is it called? Wings of Desire. That's the name. Wings of Desire, and then the remake is the Nicolas Cage is an angel movie, and it's bad.
Yeah, but the original one it has the downtime.
Yeah, definitely.
Which you don't see, especially in a lot of modern films. They like, all right, we got these Zoomers on their phones, and if we have downtime, they're just looking at their phones, right?
Yeah.
You just like, you can't put downtime in your film because otherwise, the newer generations will just lose interest immediately.
Yes.
Whereas these older films are like, you are here sitting down in the cinema with no technology, nothing. You are experiencing this. You can afford like 5 minutes of a panning shot of an empty street.
Yeah.
Where there's like cars on the side of the road that you could see have been like suddenly veered from their path but have just been sort of abandoned.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. That was really interesting. And I felt more of a film bro for watching this film. And I think that's a good thing. I think more film bros is what we need in this world.
I agree. I think we need at least 2 more. If we could just
exactly.
Just get 2 more.
No more than that. No more. Yeah,
No.
no one else become a film bro, just us.
We don't want to turn into you know how it's like a gaggle of geese or whatever? It would be a
murder of film bros.
A murder of... I was going to say a basement of film bros, but murder works. Murder works as well.
No. A basement is the word for a group of film bros.
If you don't know what the movie's about as well, we'll give a very quick... We'll do spoilers after we rate it. We're just in non-spoilers now. But basically, a man wakes up and he's the only person left on Earth, seemingly. That's the whole film. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
And so, you get a lot of silence. Also, a lot of, like, empty streets, which I'm amazed that they could do.
Yeah.
in a New Zealand movie. Like, this isn't that big budget. I think this cost about $3 million, maybe American, maybe New Zealand. I've got no idea what currency that cost or where they got that number from. But, you know, it's not that much. And the fact that they were able to shut down...
How much did it cost, did you say?
About $3 million. Cost about $3 million.
Is that... Does it say what type of money it is?
It doesn't say what
no?
type... No,
okay.
No.
Because if it's New Zealand, then it'd be like 2.5 Australian.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. And
they're very similar.
Which would be 2.5... Oh, that would be maybe like 4 million American. I don't even know, man. But
yeah.
Like, it's impressive that they... I don't know where they shot this. I don't think... It might be Wellington. It doesn't look like Auckland from what I have seen. I'm not entirely sure what city they would have shot this in, but the fact that they managed to shut down a street is impressive.
From what I saw, I don't think it was Wellington, but I could look it up. But I won't.
Oh, it's Hamilton.
There you go, yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah, okay.
Hamilton makes sense. Because there's 5 people that live in Hamilton, so you could just ask those 5 people, and you'd be right, you know?
Hell yeah.
That was a funny Hamilton joke for all you Hamilton haters out there.
That's a good one. I've actually been to Hamilton, Victoria, and there's 3 people who live there, so it's actually... yeah. Well, what can I say? New Zealand, we finally have more people than Australia and Hamilton,
you know?
Victoria. I did some stuff there in the radio station, and the whole town was just me, the boss, and then the one person who listened.
Oh, thanks, Dave, for tuning in.
Yeah.
That's ripper of you. Great. We're going to play one of your favourite songs, Dave. In fact, the entire playlist is just what you sent in.
It's just what you like. Cue AC/DC for 10 hours. Ugh.
God, that'd be awesome if there's just... I mean, you could already do that now on Spotify, right?
Yeah,
You start a radio queue of that. But just like... Again, you can still do... I guess you could just do this with Spotify, because you can share your... like list or whatever with other people. But just a dedicated radio broadcast to one dude's playlist and it just playing it 24/7.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
And it would be like a part of a network, so you would have ads, but you just re-record them all so they're only addressing Dave. Hey, Dave, does your cat have fleas? Get this flea treatment, Dave. You know you want to, Dave. Dave, you know you want to, Dave.
Holy shit.
Dave, come to Macca's, Dave.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Dave loves it. One question I got to ask you, though, Zach.
Yep.
Is, did you think this movie was boring or too long?
Boring or too long?
Because there's not much happens for a lot of it.
I think you could argue in parts it was boring. However, I didn't get bored watching it because I was chilling out. And I think I was in the right mood going into this film, that I was kind of like mellow, you know?
Yeah.
You need to be in like a mellow mood for this film. And I think it does a good job of getting you into that anyway. So I would say no to both of those things. I don't think it was too long either, because I think it's not exactly a long film, right?
Nah, 90 minutes.
90 minutes is good length for a film.
If anything, I think it was too short.
Yeah, no, I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I feel like if it was longer, though, you could get bored at some stages.
Yeah.
If it didn't really fill that in with something, you know. So I'm glad. I appreciate it now for those long periods. I think as I'm getting older and fartier and more film bro-y, I'm all these loud noises, these kids on my lawn, you know, bothering me.
Yeah.
Just like, chill out for a bit. Just give me some space so I can digest what I've seen already. You know? I think that's some good stuff. You know?
That's a really good way to put it, definitely. This is definitely the year when we complete that film bro arc that we've been on for 8 years doing this show. I think, you put it really well, definitely. Yeah.
I can't wait for all your options to be like non-stop action slop, you know?
I don't even remember. Maybe one of them is.
Wow, we are getting old.
Yeah, all right. Oldie or a goodie then from you?
Welcome to Oldie but a Goodie. Ah, yes, I'm giving this one a goodie. This is one of those oldies but a goodie seasons. Back in my day, films gave you time to think about what you saw. They were thinkers. They weren't like your Marvel movies or whatever. Didn't some actor recently state that Hollywood should be even more explicitly like explaining everything's multiple times? Like Mark Wahlberg or something said that.
He probably would say that. He probably doesn't understand what the movies are about anyway, so it's more just his own.
I need to look this up, but like someone said it's like literally they need to explain things more in cinema. Like they need to repeat what happened in the film. And I was like, what are you talking about?
Were they saying that as in that's what they want to happen or what is happening? Because I know that Matt Damon was like, for my new Netflix movie, we had to keep saying what was happening because that's what they want us to do because they don't want people to watch it while in a different room.
That might have been it. And I do combine Matt Damon and Mark Wahlberg in my head. They are the same person.
Same person. Again, one is allegedly... No, I'm not going to get into that. Anyway.
No, one of them's definitely a lot worse than the other.
And it's Wahlberg. Okay, let's rate it then. Are you going to give it an oldie or a goodie?
As I said, it's a goodie. It's a goodie from me.
Oh, you already said
I
it.
enjoyed
it. Right. I thought the old man bit was a joke, so I didn't...
Oh, yeah, sorry, this is an oldie. Fuck this film.
Oh, no.
It's a piece of shit. Fuck. No, it's a goodie. It's goodie. I like this film. It's from my hometown. I am biased. I watched it in New Zealand.
But you're from Hamilton?
No, my hometown being the entirety of New Zealand.
I don't think you could... It's small enough to be a town. That's fine.
Yeah, bro, you could fit New Zealand in Melbourne, bro. Like,
I don't know that's true, but yeah, look.
Not at all. No, it is funny though, because every time I go to Wellington, it's like you drive 10 minutes out of Wellington, you're in countryside, right? You drive 10 minutes in Melbourne, maybe you get round the corner, max. Like,
I'm looking it up. How long would it take to drive from one end of New Zealand to the other?
It's like 10 hours for each island.
Yeah, about 12 hours. Yeah, if you could drive over. Oh wait, no, that's per island. 12 hours.
Yeah, that's per island.
Oh.
So I'm only counting one island of each, right, to go into Melbourne.
Wow.
It's still way bigger.
I'm going to give it a goodie as well. This was great. Good, really good start to the year. I don't think it's the deepest movie, but I think it's, in terms of the vibes,
yeah,
this is as deep as you're going to get, and I love movies that are just... I like movies that have a lot going on and a lot to think about, but I also like movies where nothing's happening and you're just vibing out, and this was one of those, so I really liked it like that as well. And also like really good performances, like pretty much across the whole board. And I think as well it's really cool seeing, obviously New Zealand is different to Australia, but the countries also kind of look the same, and so it was cool seeing a movie like this that looked kind of like out where I was born. The streets looked pretty similar at points. The houses look pretty similar.
Oh yeah. There's some funny parallels where at one stage when I went to New Zealand, this was many years ago, it felt like it was just Australia, but like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting in that way, where it was like there was kind of, but it was like different. It was like a parallel Australia from 3 years ago. Like I had set in a different dimension. It was fun.
Okay. Hell yeah. Have to do that then. All right, taglines. If you don't remember, Zach, I got a bunch of taglines and they're from IMDb. You got to give them a thumb up or a thumb down.
What? What are you talking about? I've never heard of this segment in my life.
The movies have to be advertised, and so to help do that, they take the movie and they cut it down into something that will make you think the movie is something else than what it is, and it pisses off people. But also, They
the trailers. Yes, gotcha.
So, and sometimes what they do is they'll CGI in Chris Hemsworth's eye, so you think he's got two eyes, and then you watch the movie and you're like, what? He's got one eye. Or they'll make a whole scene that's set in Wakanda that never shows up in Infinity War, and you're like, where the fuck was that scene from the trailer? And they're like, we just shot that for the trailer, and you're like, why? What the fuck are you doing? Marvel, or they come up with a tagline that's just a fun little way to sell the movie.
I think I'm more confused now than I was at the start of this segment.
First tagline, we're going to give a thumb up or a thumb down.
Yep.
The end of the world is just the beginning.
It is interesting because it's set in. I'll give it a shaky thumbs up.
Okay,
I'll give it a shaky thumbs up because I'm not sure about it, but there is something there because it is supposed to be kind of like a post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And a post-apocalyptic would imply that it is after the end of the world, almost. Right?
That's
So,
true.
yeah.
Is this post-apocalyptic or is it just apocalyptic?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, like, yeah. At what point is you could argue it's both?
Yeah,
I would
definitely.
say.
Yeah,
It's definitely an argument as both because it depends on your definition of either.
yeah. No, definitely.
But like, there's definitely an apocalypse here, and there's definitely something that's like after, right? You know,
something happened, and we're now after that. So technically, it would be post-apocalyptic. Yeah.
if, for example, if you use the Fallout series, like
Yes.
you could argue that after the bomb drops is the post-apocalyptic.
Whoa.
But it's also just an apocalyptic. They are still in the apocalypse.
See,
right?
what I would do is I've been reading The Walking Dead recently, and
Ooh,
so
that's a good one.
is post-apocalyptic because that starts a month after the zombies have come out and started eating people.
Yes.
However, if you then talk about the spin-off TV show Fear the Walking Dead, which takes place during the outbreak, I wouldn't say that's post-apocalyptic because that's happening during the apocalyptic.
Yeah. Well, you could also argue that the first one is just apocalyptic because the zombies are still running around, and it's not until they finally kill all the zombies and or cure everyone, right?
Fuck.
Like get a cure done.
True. Yeah, true.
That it's post-apocalyptic.
Does that mean that Hunger Games is post-apocalyptic? Because technically it would be not, because
No,
it's
that's
society.
apocalyptic.
And society is like that right now. So kablamo.
Ooh,
No,
actually,
that's post-apocalyptic.
it's not apocalyptic.
That's definitely,
It's just fucking depressing.
it's definitely Anyway, thumb up or a thumb down?
So what you're saying is someone needs to shoot someone with an arrow, some political leader.
For it to be post-apocalyptic?
No, you just want a President Snow situation.
Oh, in every piece of media I consume, I want Donald Sutherland to show up and then get shot by an arrow. I love him as an actor, but I just think it would improve every single possible bit of media.
That's true. That's actually so real of you.
Yeah.
I'm with you fully. Absolutely, Donald Sutherland needs to be shot in every
How
movie.
funny would that be if in every single movie someone shows, like, it's like Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote. In every movie, there's just a random coyote in the background. He's like, ha ha ha, you'll never get me, Roadrunner! And then Roadrunner drops a bomb on him, and then we just go back to the movie. Just, like, cut back to the movie we're watching.
That's crazy. And
Yeah.
also, Roadrunner getting his revenge, that's based as fuck. Tagline?
End of the world is just the beginning. That's what we were talking about.
Well, yeah. Next tagline.
Did you give it a thumb up or a thumb down? I can't remember.
I gave it a shaky thumb up.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, Zach Hobson was the last man on Earth.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like it because it has my name in it. Thumb up.
Spelt wrong, though.
Totally
No
biased.
H, no K either. Just
No,
ZAC.
No.
And by
But,
spelt
you
wrong,
know
I
what?
mean spelt not like yours, because of course our Zach
No,
Rose,
that's correct.
our good friend's name is spelt that way as well. So
Yeah. Any way that isn't mine is incorrect. Sandro, I'm sorry to say, but your name is spelt very incorrect. It doesn't sound like Zach at all.
it's true. It's true.
That's a fact.
How confusing would it be if... I mean, we've had two Zachs on the podcast before. How confusing would it be if that was also my name, though? Is there a podcast now?
Zach and
Then
Zach?
we would be the only movie, the only podcast in the world...
Oh, there's too many Zachs running around anyway. It's fine.
It's true.
Zach is have you noticed that? Have you bumped into more Zachs recently? I feel like once people hit their, like, 25s, there just suddenly was a lot more Zacks around. Growing up, I didn't meet many Zacks. It might just be because we're a more connected world.
Yeah, maybe.
But I feel like there's a lot more, like, 30-year-old Zacks going around.
I haven't met a new Zack in a very long time, though, thinking about it.
Not necessarily you meet, but just, like, you know of.
Oh, just see the name, and you're like, damn, what the hell?
What the hell?
Someone stole my identity.
Podcasting hosts.
Yeah.
They stole his identity. What the heck?
What the heck?
You know what they need?
What do they
Sandro?
need? What?
We need more Sandros.
Yeah.
I have not met many other Sandros.
Have you met any?
Nope,
Yep.
not a single one.
There it is. There's one.
There
Sydney.
might have been one. No. I definitely met someone that was named Sandro. I have.
Was it
I
me?
had that memory
Before I had a beard. It was me, clean shaven.
No. There was someone at like a party whose name was Sandro.
What?
But I didn't know them, and I didn't know their friend who brought them to this party. There was no way I could like talk to them without it being weird and awkward.
Okay.
So I couldn't be like, oh hey, my podcasting host has the same name. Like, without sounding like a psychopath, you know?
I don't know. That's how I start all my conversations. I just go up to people and say, oh, wow, your name is the same as my podcast co-host's name.
It doesn't matter what their name is, you still just open it.
Yeah,
like
well, no,
that.
I only say that's why all my friends are called Zach. Oh, that would explain it.
Every single one?
Every single one. That would explain it.
That's crazy.
Anyway.
You're friends with me and Zach Rose.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's pretty much
Those are
it.
your only friends.
Okay, final tagline. The creations of our mind should be a blessing, not a curse to mankind. Quote by Albert Einstein.
Oh, no wonder it hit so fucking hard.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a crazy line for a movie tagline. I was like, holy crap, that goes hard. And of course, that's because it's a
an
quote from
Einstein.
Albert Einstein.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's an
I'm going to
Einstein
give
quote.
Einstein a thumbs up. I'm going to give this a shaky thumbs up because it's stolen valor by this movie.
Wow.
To just grab an Einstein quote. However, it is appropriate. So maybe I'll just give it a thumbs up.
Every movie gets an Einstein quote.
An Einstein specifically?
Yeah.
We gotta run out of quotes real quick. People are gonna have to grab some real stinkers from when he was young, you know, just like, I think Sally Down the Road sucks, like, from when he was,
Yeah.
like, 7.
And then you chuck that on
Shallow
Zack
Hal.
Snyder's Justice League, and then done.
Same
Boom.
quality of movie.
Yeah.
At Nature's Bounty, the belief is simple. You already have a brilliant body. Supplements just help support your journey. For over 50 years, Nature's Bounty has offered vitamins and supplements to help you eat, sleep, thrive, repeat. From magnesium glycinate for heart and muscle support to hair growth capsules for fuller, thicker hair. And probiotics with 20 billion live cultures for digestion. Nature's Bounty. It's in your nature to thrive. Learn more at naturesbounty.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Well, listener, I can't believe they hired me for another year. My name's Sally McSeller, and I love the X-Men movies, particularly when Sandro and Zach are reviewing them over at patreon.com/oldie-but-a-goodie-pod. And this new year, they're wrapping up that series with the last movies in the franchise. They just did X-Men Apocalypse. Here's the clip.
I watched this movie, and then I didn't watch any other X-Men films after it because I was like, I see that I am no longer welcome here. Fare thee well, X-Men. I shall never visit you again. I will never watch this film again.
Yeah.
And then we come back to today.
Yeah.
And I have to watch this film again. And you know what, Sandra? I liked some of the bits of it.
What?
Do you know what, Sandra? That makes it worse.
It does make it worse, doesn't it?
Because there's things there, right? You know? It could have been good.
Yeah.
But because the bits are there, it just makes the bad bits stand out more.
Sandro and Zach have been hyping up this review pretty much for an entire year because it's the movie that made them hate X-Men movies. And the review is over 2 hours long, and you can get it right now at patreon.com/oldie-but-a-goodie-pod. And I am biased, partly because they don't pay me unless I get at least 1 million people to sign up every week. But I think this is a good episode, and you can check it out right now at patreon.com/OldieBuddyGoodiePound. You can also get ad-free episodes too, and a whole back catalog of X-Men reviews. I'm an American. Yeehaw! Alright, let's do spoilers. Spoiler warning, watch out. We're going to spoil the movie.
Whew. Already I can tell that this is going to be one heck of an episode. We are really diving back into it, you know?
Well, here's the thing, Zach. Wakes up, and he's all alone in the world, because...
Whoa! But he doesn't know it at first, of course, because for him, it's just a regular start to his day.
Yeah.
There's, like, a couple of hints that, like, things might not be, you know, going all right. But, like, other than that, like, at first, he doesn't really notice at all.
No. He's like, huh.
Was it the radio? I think the radio might have been there.
Yeah, he turns the radio on, it's not working.
Yeah, and he's like, weird, why isn't the radio working, you know? And it's like, your first thought isn't, there's been a rapture, right? You know?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
You're just like, oh man, the shitty radio doesn't work.
I will quickly point out my first note that I wrote down, and it's the first thing. So the opening credits are to a sunrise that goes on for a while. But the first thing that we see is, so the character Zach Hobson is played by Bruno Lawerence, who's in a lot of New Zealand movies. He's really good. He's phenomenal in this movie. He's great. He's in heaps of shit. He's also a musician, I think, as well. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, the first thing you see is his dick. So
it wouldn't be a bit of a New Zealand movie without a bit of cock.
Which I love that's the first thing in any movie we review this, because I'm always complaining that there's not enough penises in movies.
That's true. You literally said that at least twice before, which is wild that that's a thing. But you're right, and they just straight up Watchmen us on the in the opening fucking
right there
line of the movie, and I was like, "Yep, this is a New Zealand movie, absolutely."
Yeah.
Because the rural New Zealand, they don't give a sheep's ass, you know. They don't give a woolly bottom for your fucking prude aunt over here being like, oh, nudity bad. Nah, fucking here's my dick.
Yeah, he went full Bruno on there, Mr. Bruno Lawerence.
To be fair, it isn't the only nudity in this film. There is some more later on. But it is funny that it's just like opening, and I was like, "Whoa, okay, that's a strong opener."
It is pretty strong,
but it's funny.
I liked the nudity in this movie because it was not. It didn't make a point of it. It was like,
no, it's not. It's not like making a big deal. It's just it just adds to the more like I don't want to say realism, but it's like. You know, you didn't have to have it in the film. You could have cut it out of the film, but you didn't for the choice to make it just feel a little more real.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm okay with that.
I'm here with it. Okay, he goes to a servo, which is a service station to any of our non-Australian, Is that what they call it in New Zealand? A servo? Or is that just Australia? That feels like it would just be Australia.
Ooh, no, I think they probably call it a servo down there.
Gonna go to a servo, mate. No,
I'll have to double check with my New Zealand friends, but I'm pretty sure they also have a bit of like Australia slang down there just to shorten things.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because we've got a lot of back and forth.
Yeah,
but like for example, I think gas station or whatever, like. I don't know. Maybe they call it a gas station. I don't know. I'll have to double check.
But he goes into one. He's like, there's no one here. What the fuck? He's walking around his town. There's just no one there. He's like, I'm going to go into the city. Goes into the city. There's no one fucking there. And he's like...
He nearly hits a truck.
What the hell's going on? Yeah, that was...
Just lying in the middle of the road. He like, tries to use the radio on the truck. And it's no one's picking up, and he's like, that's weird.
And this is pretty much the first, like, half of the movie. He just kind of like walks around and he's like, what the hell? Where is everyone? I liked when he's in the city, which is impressive that they managed to completely clear out a main street and a fucking city. Very impressive.
I think it might have been almost easier back in the day.
Maybe in the 80s, yeah.
It would have been easier, to clear out a street for this sort of thing. However, it would still cost a lot of money and a lot of things. It's impressive for a like sort of, I don't want to say indie,
relatively,
but like very early New Zealand cinema for sure. Because I think this is supposed to be like the first proper sci-fi from New Zealand itself.
Might have been probably the first non-trash sci-fi from New Zealand.
Yeah, like proper.
Yeah,
movie.
like drama sci-fi film.
I think that's what it's touted as.
That's pretty impressive. I actually didn't remember that at all, but I think you said that last week. So
yeah.
But anyway, it's really impressive. Very well done.
This is probably some of my favorite shots of the film is when he first
definitely.
arrived in the city, and he's just kind of going around and like seeing everything, and he's sort of slowly piecing together like, hey, everyone's just missing.
That's the thing is like, so there's a building that's on fire because a plane crashed into it. And he's like, well, I'll go have a look there. There's no bodies.
Yeah.
Anywhere. And I feel like that's the point where he's like, okay, I can't ignore the fact that there's no bodies anywhere. Because there should be some if a fucking plane crashed into a building.
There's great, like, visual storytelling when he, like, first he checks out, like, a house.
Yeah.
And, like, there's food on the bed, half eaten, but there's no, like, signs of people leaving the house in a hurry or anything.
Yeah.
And there's great storytelling here. Like, there's no words spoken, but he, like, goes to a plane seat and he lifts up the seatbelt, and the seatbelt's still clicked in.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Like, no one's released the seatbelt, but there's no evidence of a dead body. So it's like, what the heck's up with that, you know?
What's going on?
So I really appreciate that. That's one of my top favorite things about this film is, like, the visual storytelling, which I've slammed modern movies for explaining everything.
Yeah, for sure.
But, like, a good bit of visual storytelling is always appreciated, and I thought this scene was pretty good. And also, looking at a crashed plane while you're sitting in an airport terminal was maybe not the best choice. But,
not a choice.
It was certainly a choice.
Yeah. I liked that as well. And I think this movie in general does a really good job of, like, it gives you exposition, but you've got to piece this thing together if you want to make any sense out of a lot of it. So I think that that's definitely a big thing that I really liked about it. And part of the reason why I think it's a really good first movie to watch critically after we've been on break for like 2 months. So
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Exactly.
So he does what any sane man would do when he wakes up and everyone has disappeared. He goes to work.
Of course.
He's like, I'm going to work. And he's a scientist. He works at a research department. And he walks in and he's like, oh my god, none of the other bases around the world that are for some reason connected to this one are reporting in. That's a bit weird. He goes into a lab for a project called Project Flashlight. Like, that's what's going on here. And there's a dead body in one of the seats.
Whoa, yeah, I think that's the first sign of, like, other human life we see in the film, right? There's obviously, like, objects that people have left behind, cars and other things, but, like, this is the first, like, human other than him that we see. Obviously, they're dead, so they're not doing great. But it's interesting. I think him going to work would make the most. If you're planning to go to work next day and everyone disappeared, like, he starts off the day by going through his morning routine to go to work.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
His plan doesn't really change, but also his work also just so happens to be a useful place to go to in an apocalypse anyway.
Well, especially considering that he's like, well, I think we caused this. Whoops.
Yeah, well, that's a bit later on, but yes, as it turns out, he has a theory which is like, we might have had a part of this apocalyptic situation.
And we may as well explain this part now. There's more information that we'll leave for later. But so basically, America was like, we're going to use a grid around the globe. We're going to we're going to transmit power or whatever through the global grid.
A golden globe, as you could call it, a security grid.
And the plan is to basically...
It's a Trump reference. He said they were going to do a golden dome.
Is that
around
what he
America.
said?
Yeah, there was going to be like a super... This was that in his first term or this
That might
term?
have been.
I can't remember.
I vaguely remember that. And then everyone was like, The Simpsons, which is a classic.
Yeah,
classic
exactly.
thing. Yeah. So the Americans were like, we're going to experiment with energy transmissions across a global network so that basically we can field planes when they're up in the air and recharge. I just do all this science shit. Essentially, they pumped heaps of energy up into space. And all of the world was working on it. It seems like they turned it on, and then this happened. Is what our main character is like.
That's his conclusion, yeah.
It flashes up on the screen when he's in the lab, I think. It says Project Flashlight Complete. And he's like, well, I think that might have caused all of this. Whoops, that's a bit classic. But he doesn't know all of the details because America was the lead in it and they were telling everyone what to do. And he was not 100% sure it was a good idea, which we'll get to more later.
Yeah. And it's interesting. Obviously, we've chosen the perspective of Zach because he is the scientist and he's the closest to this thing, which makes sense. So the fact that he is the main character implies that this is the truth. However, it is not confirmed in the movie whether this is true or not, right?
No, not at all. Never. Well, we'll get to the ending.
That's the thing. We'll get to the ending.
Yeah.
But I will say it's still not... There could be other things.
Yeah, definitely.
The movie doesn't say, this is what caused it.
Well, it gets to a point near the end, and it's not the ending, but he's like, I'm going to do this thing, and it's running off my current working theory that I helped cause this. But what could be happening is I'm dead.
Yeah.
And this is all just my brain.
Exactly, right?
But I'm going to stick with the other theory. Like he says that out loud. So.
But also, but also, like, they explain it more later, but, like, the thing that's happening could have been caused just by something else as well.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Could be aliens. Who knows? Why didn't they pick him?
Yeah. And I like that ambiguity. I like that the characters on screen don't know what the fuck's going on, and neither do we.
I agree with this.
We're both in this for the ride,
Then for about half an hour, we get, like... it's almost like a dark comedy for a bit, as he just gets more and more crazy. So he goes to a radio station, and he records tapes of him being like, if you're alive, meet me here. I like when he drew that on a billboard as well. That was really fun.
Yeah. Just trying to contact anyone else that might be alive.
He grabs a cop car and is like, everyone, you must come out or I'll arrest you. Driving around the streets, that was good.
Yeah. Although that one was more silly. He starts his, like, sort of silly arc there where he realizes there's no real consequences for any of his actions, so he can just kind of do what he wants at the moment.
Like play saxophone in the city streets while it's raining?
That was pretty hype.
That was great.
I mean, I would love to do... If there was a rapture, I would also want to play saxophone in the middle of the street while it's raining. That sounds sick.
One of my highlights is he's in a shopping mall and he's playing with model trains, and it cuts from him playing with model trains to him just driving an actual train. And I thought that was hilarious. I was like, this is so funny.
That's a logical progression right there that makes sense to me. Like, he's in the middle of playing with, like, model trains and he's like, wait a minute.
I think it's also the fact that, like, I don't know how old he was when he made this, but he looks like middle-aged, and that just adds to it, because it's like he's a scientist, right?
Yeah.
And he's like had to be a serious science man for fucking his whole career, essentially. And now he's like, oh, I can do whatever I want. And he's got that, like, childlike kind of quality, but he looks middle-aged. I thought that was great. Like, you wouldn't be able to do that nowadays.
What's ironic was while in Wellington, we passed by a busker who was playing the saxophone.
Oh, wow.
And he was very talented. We also passed by a banjo player who was very bad.
Oh, really?
He was one of the worst buskers I've ever heard in my life.
That's very impressive considering that you're from Melbourne.
Yeah, because he was playing the banjo like a ukulele or something, and it sounded bad. I
what's
felt
his
bad.
Instagram? I'm gonna.
I don't know. But this other guy playing the saxophone was dressed as a bush. Like he had a tree. Like he was in a sort of like advanced ghillie suit. So I didn't realize where the music was coming from at first, but it was very funny because I was wearing a floral Hawaiian shirt on the day. I gave him some cash and he was like, I love your shirt. And I was like, I love your shirt.
That's funny.
And we went, ha-ha.
That's a pretty good tale.
But he was really talented. So I'm going to say all New Zealand people naturally talented at saxophone.
Also naturally talented at pool. He plays pool with himself and it cuts between 3 different people.
Yeah.
But they're all him. But that was great.
That was great.
He starts to wear a dress. I mean, it would just be more breathable, so it makes sense.
I think we should be doing that without the apocalypse.
Yeah.
I want some air down there, you know? I need a bit of cooling, you know?
Kilts all round. I've said it before, and I'll say it again.
I think kilts should become more mainstream and more diverse. And just like men should be wearing dresses. That's what I'm saying. I think that would be... But what I'd do is wear like dresses that kind of act like shorts, you know? They're just more flexible shorts because one of my main problems with most of my shorts is that they turn into dresses over time. Because I get a big fucking hole in the bottom of them and I'm like, well...
Oh, yeah.
Well, I've worn through these fucking pairs of shorts. Time to get a new one. But if it was a dress, I wouldn't have to worry about them wearing around the bottom because there's nothing there to wear out.
I getcha. I agree with you. I'm the same with my jeans. They don't turn into dresses. They just turn into jeans with a hole in them.
Yeah.
So, you know what? On a certain level, I can relate to you. Yes.
Yeah. They become a shirt, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you cut a hole in the bottom there, that's where your head goes.
That's
and
where
then you got the arms,
you're
right?
So right. So, I don't know why I don't just wear them like that. It's great. It's a great idea.
Stupid.
Did you like the scene where he gets cardboard cutouts of Hitler? Fucking the Queen, the Pope, a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And then he like does an address to them where he's like, I'm the president of the earth.
Yeah. I love that. I think that's definitely one of the more iconic scenes of this film that people
I feel like
remember.
I've seen that scene before. I don't know where, but I have seen it before somewhere. Maybe at, like, independent Australian and New Zealand movie, like, exhibit?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe?
Or just, like, any indie movie thing might have a clip from that thrown in, you know.
For sure.
I think, it's a reflection, because I think it's implied he's been here, like, 2-3 weeks without any contact.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Maybe months. It's unclear the exact time frame, but he's been there a while. And he's just going a little kooky. He's going a little crazy.
He is. He runs into a church with a shotgun and he's like, where is he? If you don't come out, I'm going to shoot your kid. And then he shoots Jesus down off the cross. because he's trying to confront God. And he's like, well, there isn't any. So that must mean I'm God now.
Yeah.
And so now he thinks he's God. And he's gone off the deep end so very far.
Yeah. Which is very funny. It's great.
Yeah. And then he almost kills himself. And then he's like, actually, I'm not going to do that. And then he starts to get a bit more sane. He's like, well, actually, what I need to do is because the power goes out everywhere. The power goes out across the whole world, apparently. So the power's gone. And so he's like, well, actually, that has kind of brought me back down a bit. And he like starts to become a farmer. He gets a remote control lawnmower, and he's just like, I'm gonna make a garden.
Yeah. Because that's I feel a very important thing for life as well. Is when you're feeling directionless, you need to find a direction, whether that be a hobby or a goal or something like.
Yeah.
And so it makes sense that in this, he's literally on the brink of just ending it all, and then he manages to wrench himself from it, which is sometimes quite difficult, like, you know, especially when you're in that spot. But he does this by giving himself goals and other things to do, and I think that makes sense.
Definitely, yeah. So that's kind of like the first half of the movie. It's just him doing stuff. But now that he's a bit more down to earth, why, what happens? Who walks around the corner?
Yo!
Why, it's none other than a woman!
What?
Oh my god. A
Holy
character
shit.
called Joanne, played by an actor called Alison Rutledge, who's not done a whole lot. But she was really she's great.
Yeah,
in this
which
movie.
is a shame because she was really fun. I liked her in this film.
I agree.
Yeah, and it's like, holy shit, there's another person alive in this apocalypse, and it's not just him, which is pretty wild. And they like have a dramatic moment because she brings like a gun, I think, just in case.
I think so, yeah.
And they have a bit of like a Mexican standoff, and then she doesn't shoot him, and then I think she says it's like it's not loaded anyway.
Yeah.
And then they have a little hug, and I was like, ooh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And then they have like a nice dinner together with a bit of wine and stuff. I thought that was great.
And he's like, mate, the world's gone crazy. Water isn't going down the drain right. Matt makes me think that something's wrong. And she's like, yep, checks out.
I like how they like talking about it's like what they did after the apocalypse, like their like experience. And she's like, yeah, I went a bit crazy, but at least I didn't proclaim myself god of the world, you know?
Yeah, exactly. She keeps holding that over him for the rest of the movie, which is very funny.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
It's interesting as well. There's a point where he's, you know, he is the leader of the two of them. He's like, we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
And it's never questioned. And that's really interesting because he thinks he's God, and also, like, I guess he's the scientist guy. So it's just kind of implied that he would be, which is really interesting because it's like, I don't know. I just find it. It's an interesting commentary.
It is, but it's also the practical thing because it's like not to dissuade the girl or anything, but like, would she have anything better than his ideas, right?
Well,
she might, but like, would she believe in them enough to be like, hey, we shouldn't do what you think and we should do what I think, right? Because I think they would have had that conversation. It's like, unless you want to do anything better. And she's like, nah, I got nothing cheap. I don't know what's going on, right?
Well, that's the thing is, like, she's all about finding survivors. And then he's like, I'll say I'm going to find survivors, but I'm going to go do science stuff.
Yeah,
you know? So it's also that I don't know. I just found it really interesting to watch play out. But they go off and they have a look for more people, and they're walking around and they end up sleeping together, obviously. I was kind of like hoping that wouldn't happen. I was like, could they just be friends for the rest of the movie? That would be interesting. But, you know, they're supposedly the only two people left. So, you know.
Yeah, do they actually sleep together, or is it?
It's
is
implied.
It just implied?
So it's implied, yeah.
They probably do.
We see her, but so I would assume that they did.
Yeah.
Oh, I liked when they were just like drifting around the empty city streets in their cars. That for like a minute. That was great as well.
That was fun. They had a bit of fun together, and I thought that was great. There is like a dark scene that sort of comes up where I don't think it shows it, but they talk about when they're exploring the different places. I think the girl goes to a hospital or whatever, and there's like a baby.
That was after she woke up, baby. I think. That was after everyone disappeared. Because it's why are there two people now? When it felt like there were only one. And then she's like, the only other alive not alive, but the only dead person I saw was a dead baby in the hospital.
Yeah, which is really bizarre, but makes sense as to later on when they explain how each of them seems to have got there.
But there were, because there's no animals either. There are fish, and it's explained that there's fish because there were fertilized fish eggs on the side of a river, and they're technically not alive. So when the effect is what they call it, when that happened, the fish eggs technically weren't alive at that point, so they weren't wiped. But then they hatched and went into the water, and now that's why they're fish. Apparently on the... this is a bit gruesome. Apparently on the baby there were maggots, so I don't know where they would have come from. Yeah,
it is interesting, because that brings up a whole different bunch of questions, right? Because why is there no other animals? Why is just alive things gone?
But then why are the trees still around?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there should have been...
Well, it's just animals. Yeah,
it's just animals and... Well, humans are animals, so I guess it would be...
Yeah, but, like, why is why fish eggs is, like... They're not organic enough? They're not alive enough for it to count? Why is there like a metric of alive to not alive, which is the thing that dictates whether you get sent you are alive in this apocalypse or not, right?
I mean, I assume it's because they shot near a river and they couldn't explain why there were fish in it, so they just wrote it in. I would say that might be why, but also, I don't know, like maybe if there's a chicken egg...
It is interesting.
And it's at a point where the chicken egg
That's what I was going to bring up next, right?
Guys, it's no use putting it off. The best time for an underwear refresh is now. Tommy John underwear is designed for a perfect fit that stays put all day. There's zero chafe thanks to 4 times more stretch than competing brands. And their innovative horizontal quick draw fly is a game changer. With over 30 million pairs sold, there are thousands of men out there more comfortable than you. Don't settle for less. Go to TommyJohn.com today for 25% off your first order with code COMFORT. That's TommyJohn.com/comfort. Tommy John. Comfort perfected.
Mom, Dad, I'm not throwing shade, but the whole New Year's resolution thing, kind of slipping, no offense. Anyway, my best friend Jenny's dad, crushing it. He uses Blue Apron. He says he ordered 1-pan assemble and bake meals and these things called meal kits. They're all super easy to make. He keeps yelling, protein and fiber, baby. Also, the food, we tried it. So good. So maybe you check it out or whatever. Blue Apron. Get $50 off your first 2 orders plus free shipping with code STIR50. Terms and conditions apply. Visit blueapron.com/terms for more.
Yeah.
Why is there no birds if these eggs can exist but other eggs can't? Apparently?
No, for sure. I definitely agree. I want a bit more. We won't get one, but it would be interesting to get a bit more of an explanation of what's going on here.
It is interesting as to why this happened, which is why my theory is that there's possibly something else to his theory. I think his theory is good, but I think it is incorrect because of these strange things that are happening.
Well, things get a bit more stranger when Zach's walking around the city.
Things?
No, not that. I still haven't seen the final season. I probably never will, honestly.
I was gonna mention it. Yeah.
I don't know.
I still haven't seen the first season.
I thought you saw at least one episode.
I probably did.
Yeah.
I don't remember it.
Anyway, Zach's walking around the city being like, I haven't watched Stranger Things, but we're talking about the movie. Zach Hobson's walking around and he's like, I'm looking at stuff and things. Oh my. An army truck's following me. That's a bit weird. And then a guy jumps out with a fucking semi-automatic gun and a balaclava and he's like, oh, put your hands in the air, I've gotcha. And it is a man called Appy, played by Pete Smith, who's a Maori actor. He's done a lot of movies. He's really cool.
He was great
in this film. I liked him here as well. All 3 actors, fucking phenomenal. Great casting.
And it's funny because there's just like 3 actors.
Yep.
That's kind of it.
Yeah.
There's no one else. It's just there's 3. So they just got 3 really good ones. And there you go. There's your movie. Easy done.
He joins them again. There's a part where, because he's like, he's got him at gunpoint, and he's like, because they've got walkie-talkies, so he hears Joanne over the walkie-talkie, and he's like, take me to her, and he's got like a gun on Zach the whole time.
Yeah.
But when he sees that they are like friendly, he's like, oh, people, and then they all have a big hug. just like when Zach met Joanne, which was nice, very nice.
Yeah, it's interesting because obviously it's funny that both their introductions to these new characters involve guns.
True.
But it shows the sort of difference in their personality where she didn't even load. He was ready to, kill if he had to.
Well, that's because of his backstory. He has killed before, is what he says.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. He's on a run with Joanne. There's like a love triangle type thing going on here.
Yep.
That doesn't really feel like a love triangle, but it's complicated. The movie doesn't go into it too much.
Well, I think it is because originally, of course, our main two get together, but I think she likes the new guy more.
Well, I mean, he's more age appropriate and makes more sense to, I guess, if there's 3 people on the planet, you would choose to procreate, I guess, with the one closer in age to you. Makes more sense to, but just be a throuple.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Come on.
Well, Sandra just being like, just fuck each other, whatever,
Why not? Just do it. Appy's out there with his tight leather pants, and Zach's got his dick out wherever he goes. Like, why not do it? But we get a very interesting bit of information about why these 3 have not been blipped, if you were to be a Marvel head.
Yeah. Or raptured, if you're to be a biblical head.
Or... No, I can't think of anything else. It's trying to rule of 3s it. Anyway.
I'm sure we'll think of it.
What happened?
Yeah, so we get the backstory first. I think it's from the new guy.
Yeah.
What's his name again?
Uppy.
Uppy says he was like drowning when this all happened, but then he woke up and he was here.
He said that he was about to die. He was being drowned. He astral projected, accepted death, and then the effect happened, which the person who was drowning him was no longer there, so he was no longer drowning.
Yeah. And then I remember the scientist guy, he's like, Zach, he's like, I took some pills. I think he was just like, he tried to commit suicide.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he was like, I hate this project I'm working on. I'm going to kill myself. So he took a bunch of pills.
Yeah.
Not enough, I guess. It didn't work, but he was also about to die.
Maybe it would have. That's the thing.
Maybe. Yeah.
I think it. Judging by what the movie says, I think he would have.
And Joanne was doing her hair, and was getting electrocuted by her hairdryer. I guess some water touched it. I don't know. But she was also about to die by electrocution. And so Zach's like, that's a bit weird. We were all about to die.
Now, which is very strange that the people that get blipped, and so we see the two people missing from this conversation are the 2 dead bodies that we found. We found a dead baby and a dead guy. So it's possible that they were about to die and then just died anyway.
Well, the baby would have, even if the baby had survived.
Yes.
The baby would have died.
Yes.
And the scientist guy, it seemed like he was at the eye. Well, there were probably many eyes of the storm, I guess, many points of impact, but he would have been in the New Zealand point of impact. So I guess he was about to die when it happened because he was there when it happened, you know?
Yeah. So my theory is that those 2 would have, lived possibly through the rapture, but died afterwards.
We also see that woman... At one point...
That woman?
There's a fire truck, or is it an ambulance? And we see a guy in a car, and then also a woman. They're both dead.
Right,
and it's implied that they died when it happened. Like, he probably crashed when it happened or something. It's a little bit unclear.
Yeah, well, because they were in the driver's seat, right? Like, I think maybe they were overdosing or something, right? They got blipped mid-driving, but you get like blipped mid-driving, you freak out, right? Because something happens.
Yeah.
Because we see sort of the effects of the blip later on where they have some like afterquakes, right? Where reality kind of like fractures.
Yeah, people end up in random rooms and shit. Like, they're slightly displaced.
They can hear each other from wherever, and like gravity doesn't seem correct, and like, so that probably happened. And if that happens while you're driving, you're probably crashing your car and dying.
Yep, pretty much. Yep. But anyway, things come to a head where Zach's like, hey, I think the sun's kind of like expanding a bit, and I think that maybe the world will end because the electromagnetic field or whatever the fuck it is that was being emitted is still being emitted, and it's causing the Earth to get more fucked up. And so I think I have to turn it off, and the only way I can do that is by blowing up the facility.
Yeah, and it's interesting because they have a computer simulation, which is very interesting because, of course, he's a scientist, so he's got these. He knows how to work these things. Yeah. And it's like they've accidentally changed a fundamental. His theory is they've accidentally changed a fundamental law of physics.
Yes.
Which is causing their universe to just kind of collapse.
Which is why every now and then randomly they'll teleport to a different room. You know, because it's like the rules have changed and they're getting more unstable.
Yeah, the rules of our universe are becoming more and more unstable because we accidentally broke the universe with this thing.
Yeah.
Which is a cool theory. It's very interesting.
So, Appy's like, well, I know how to get a fuck ton of explosives. So they go and get a fuck ton of explosives. They load it up onto a truck.
Yeah.
And they're going to drive it to the facility, but then Zach's like, oh, hang on. The radiation here is really bad. It's like driving into a microwave. If we drive this many explosives anywhere near the facility, there's a very big chance that it's just going to blow up. So... They
do have a bit of drama before this, though, right? Where they have a bit of fighting.
Yeah, there's some infighting, yeah.
And I thought that was interesting, and I was going to mention it because we learned the backstory of Uppy is that he said that he killed a person and he was acting all tough, but it was actually like she was in love with him and she killed herself because she couldn't be with him because she was already married to his best friend, and his best friend blamed him, so that's why his best friend was killing him.
Yes, when it all happened, yeah.
But he also blamed himself for it as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is crazy. That's some crazy backstory. But it's like, the way the movie puts it is like, it goes through the steps and there's like a point in the movie where like, the story is that he's just a killer and he's going to kill them too. So there was kind of like a, oh shit. But then it's like, oh, actually, no, he's a sweet guy, as it turns out.
Yeah, there was a point where he was like, he thought that Zach was being racist. So he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And then like they have like a car chase.
Yeah.
Like rams them off the road and stuff. And there's also like a love triangle happening as well, which I think near the end of the movie, Zach's like, I don't care anymore. Whatever. You guys go do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much all the infighting stuff. Oh, he tells them that they might not be real at one point. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, there's a philosophical discussion about that sort of thing where it's like, each of them could not be real and part of the other one's imagination, right? Like, there's a strong possibility, and this is the other thing I was thinking about. Like, there's a strong possibility that this is just an afterlife that they have all gone to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this could be purgatory that they're in right now. And the movie doesn't shy away from that fact. The movie's like, well, it could be. It could be.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, this could be Limbo.
And the ending of the movie, maybe we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it in a quick little second.
Yeah. But Sandra, there's radiation. How are they gonna deal with the radiation, Sandra? He's got to get all this explosive device to the facility because they need to blow up the facility so that they can stop the experiment.
Well, he's like, hey, I got a remote control mower. What if I hook up the remote control to the truck? Then we can remote control the truck in. And I was like, that's a bit dumb.
Yeah.
Is he actually going to do that?
And so he's like, you two wait here. You know?
You two wait here.
You two sit in your observation post that's looking over this facility, which is a very convenient thing to have for this movie to have a good perspective of what's going to happen.
You two wait there. Fuck, why not? Do it. Just do it. Why not? And Joanne's like, you sure you don't want me to come with you? And he's like, nah. And she's like, I think I know what you're gonna do. So, okay. So she's a bit sus about it.
Does she know what he's gonna do?
I think she kind of knows. I have a feeling that she's like, oh, okay.
That's fair.
I think I see what... Because what he does is, obviously, he just gets in the truck and then he drives it to the facility and then he blows himself up.
Yeah, he does this the suicide thing, yeah.
Which I'm like, he already was suicidal. He almost tried to kill himself. And so it's like, yeah, he does it to sacrifice himself.
Makes sense.
So that the other two can supposedly
That's
maybe
interesting.
live.
Yeah, because I didn't think about that, because the other two were, like, about to die, but neither of them were doing it via suicide.
No.
Whereas his attempt was actually suicide. Yeah, he would have woken up in the morning being like, well, my suicide attempt didn't work. Back to work I go, I guess.
Yeah, true. Yeah, for sure.
Which is fucked up if you think about it,
And I loved when he drives the truck to the facility and, like, the ground collapses in, so the truck's, like, going into the lab.
It's struggling, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it all blows up. But as it blows up, what's this? Another effect happens.
Yeah.
Which they already knew was going to happen, but...
the effect is that we get to see the other two actors are naked. That's the effect.
That happens as well. Yeah, we do. We do indeed.
Banging.
But by the effect, I mean they were like, well, the sun's expanding, all that. But also, there's a very high chance that the next time one of those blips happen and we, end up somewhere random, it could have the same effect as the first one because they're getting more and more intense. And so one happens while the explosions are going off. And Zach, what does that bloody do?
It puts him in the next layer down.
Oh my god.
He goes to the quiet earth,
He, like, wakes up on a beach and there's, like, a fucking Saturn in the distance, like the moon, and there's weird clouds and shit.
If you see the poster for this movie, that's the end of this movie. Which is wild. It's just like a view of, he's on a beach, there's an ocean, and in the distance you can see Saturn, like, orbiting whatever planet this is. But there are, like, mushroom clouds.
Yeah.
Of, like, explosions, but they don't look like I guess they are
like
explosion clouds.
Like tree clouds, maybe?
Yes, but explosion clouds, like nuclear strikes, do kind of look like that, so it's very...
They do, yeah.
It's very strange.
It's an odd one, and he's like, what the hell? And then it freeze frames on his face, just looking exhausted, and you're like, oh my god. So, if he was about to die...
Yeah.
And it happened again.
Yeah.
He's teleported to what appears to be a different planet.
Yeah.
Does that mean that because they were about to die when it happened, that it's not actually everyone on Earth was blipped, but it's that they were blipped to a different dimension?
Yeah.
A world that's a copy of our world's, a different... layer, maybe. I don't know.
Yes.
Is that what has happened, actually, maybe?
There's something there, because it could be like a Bermuda Triangle situation, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And, like, normally on Earth, the Bermuda Triangle sends you to this place, right? And this version of Earth is like the alt Earth, which you can only get to if you like are partially through the veil of death or something like that, right?
While something sciencey happens. Yeah.
But then the sciencey thing happens, and maybe the like connectors across Earth connect it over this Bermuda Triangle part, and there's some like rip in reality or some shit that sends you here, right?
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
But then he's the only one that is dying during the next blip, and therefore he goes to an even further layer, an even deeper layer in this.
Which would mean that Joanne and Appy are probably fine. They're on that version of the Earth.
They're still on the old version.
They're on the old version where they're the only people, at least in New Zealand.
Yes.
And maybe the world's fine now because he blew up the thing, so they're just going to live there. But they're stuck on that layer, but now he's on an even deeper layer because he was about to die when it happened.
Yeah, which is crazy. And it's like, so there could be even more layers after this. And I'm wondering if there's like because you could only go through a layer if you're dying at the exact time that a blip happens. Maybe those two are the only other people in New Zealand. Maybe there's more people out there on that layer. But the chances that any of those people were dying just as the next blip happened would have to be like... But then... what if there's another layer after this layer that we've seen?
Well, there would have to be infinite layers, but I doubt he's...
But for each layer, it becomes almost infinitely more impossible to get to, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Because if you have to be dying at a specific moment, right? But this layer is really interesting.
Yeah.
Because I think my theory is that, like, each layer is, like, the physics of our world are slightly different in each layer,
in each
right?
layer, for sure,
They break down, right?
Yeah.
And I think the first time they blip, it's because of the experiment, right? And they blip into the next layer, these specific... I think everyone else is left behind on normal Earth, and everything's fine for them.
That's what I think as well. I think there's maybe a couple cases of people going missing, but it's not, it's only like a handful of people in a city. I don't know, like the chances are...
Times the world, there's probably quite a few, and it's definitely making the news, and everyone's like, what the fuck? The US did this experiment.
Yeah, there would be repercussions in terms of America, for sure, because I'm sure they would be like, what the fuck?
And maybe a whole lot of people died as, like, electronics failed, and,
Yeah.
So, like, people, like... And then... on this original Earth, people are going to figure out what exactly happened and why it caused all these things,
but
and all that.
Maybe they'll send out a rescue party. Could be a little sequel idea there for you. I don't know.
Ooh,
but
that's a sick idea.
I think you're right. I don't think it's everyone disappeared. I think it's they were taken out of that world and put into a different one. Yeah.
Yeah. Where the physics... have slightly broken down, right?
Yeah.
They're still similar to regular Earths, but let's say the laws of physics have changed slightly. I think in this world, from the visuals and other things, my theory would be that something like time has been messed with. There's an element of time or something. Specifically, my theory is through the mushroom clouds, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And I think what happens is... events like explosions and other things of that magnitude send out ripples through time itself.
That's very Twin Peaksy.
In this world. Yeah, very Twin Peaksy.
Spoilers, kind of.
They become more permanent objects through the impact that they have, right?
I think it puts a lot of energy out into... the atmosphere, the world, whatever, and that, that makes some shit.
But instead of that energy being converted into, like, an explosion or whatever, it converts into this, like, solid event, this thing in this world. And that's just how the physics kind of work.
Yeah, definitely.
Which like, the problem is we wouldn't be able to understand it because it's not how our physics work.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's something like that just couldn't exist. But it's like... my theory is this is Earth, but in this parallel universe, and for some reason we orbit Saturn now.
Yeah, definitely.
Or Saturn's in a co-orbit with us, like, we don't know the exact reason why Saturn's here, but I would have presumed that we orbit Saturn. But also that the sun's still there, but also maybe that the sun's bigger, because if energy equals mass in this world, but the mass is more of a permanent rather than, converting to gas or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. Could be.
The sun could be a lot bigger, and that's maybe why we orbit Saturn. It's just, the physics. I'm not a scientist, so I wouldn't be able to explain how this would work,
No, for sure. Neither. But I think it's cool. I was not expecting the movie to end like this. I was expecting it to end in a very, like...
Yeah.
They don't live happily ever after, but they're gonna make the most of it, or something like that. And then it ends with this. Well, I was expecting him to die, and the other two be left together, but I wasn't expecting this to happen. Which I'm like, holy shit.
It's an ambiguous ending.
Yeah, which is very cool. I love the ending of this movie. I think it's cool. It's also very cool. We didn't mention it earlier, but the writing of the movie is very good. And the main actor is also one of the writers, which I think is fucking sick.
There you go.
He carried this. He did a great job. This is a very good sci-fi. If you like sci-fi movies and you haven't seen this, you probably haven't seen this, watch this. Go watch it. It's probably for free on YouTube somewhere. I don't know. It's on Amazon Prime here, so...
Yeah. No, it's interesting because, of course, it could be many different things that cause it. It doesn't give you a definitive answer, this movie.
No,
so
not at all.
you can come to your own conclusions, which I like a lot. I like it when the movie just kind of is like, you know what? You could be right on anything. It could be God's just fucking with Zach out here, you know? You're just like, you know what?
I mean, what's changed?
Real.
Yeah.
So, well, he shot Jesus. So maybe he's like, hey, Zach, the other two, they're stuck here, but you're going to the next place. Fuck you.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened.
That's what you get for shooting my son.
Okay, does this happen to anybody else? You sit down with a juicy QPC, some McNuggets, and those golden fries from McDonald's. Then you take a long sip of your Sprite because you can still hear your mama saying, don't fill up on that drink before you eat your food. But you're grown now, so you do what you want.
Share and share alike with a 20-piece McNuggets from McDonald's for just $6. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
All right, Sandro.
Oh, yeah. What the fuck? All right, let's go.
No, not you, whoever you are, random person. Sandro.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know you wanted to speak to him. One second.
No, you're the third wheel in this situation. We need you to drive explosives into a scientific facility so we can be the main characters.
Blow it up. Oh. Zach, did you just convince my grandma to kill herself with explosions?
No, I said for her to blow it up with TNT. I didn't explicitly tell her to be the one driving the truck, you know.
Oh, okay. I don't know about that. It feels like I'll have to go back to the tapes. I was too busy. I was in the bathroom.
Yeah. So, Sandro.
Yo.
Do you remember raving reviews?
Not at all.
You remember the raving battle?
Not at all.
Well, it's time for something a little different.
What?
I haven't come up with a name for this segment quite yet, but it is time for some reviews, which we like to end the show with. However, I have done something different for this year. I had a little idea, a little bit something different. I don't know if it'll work. We'll figure it out. We'll see what we do. What I have done is I've gotten reviews. At first, I used to get them from Rotten Tomatoes.
You did, yes.
Then I moved on to Letterboxd.
And
let's admit it, Letterboxd was just kind of better.
It's true, it is funnier. That's what I do on Patreon, though.
Yeah. But I think we should expand it to more reviews places.
More?
I think we should delve into the depths more of the internet.
Like common space.com where parents review your movies on whether or not your kid should be able to watch it?
Possibly.
Oh,
Possibly
hell yeah.
that might be a place I visit in the future.
That's my favorite site of all time.
I will have to look that up for next time, because that sounds like that would be really funny.
It is very entertaining.
But yes, that is what my goal is for this year, is I will be exploring as many review sites
Oh, God. All right.
as I feel like I want to at the time, because,
Now, are you getting like one review from a site, or
Yes.
each episode are we spending it on an entire site?
No, I am grabbing one review from each site.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to give you a review from each site. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you each site. I'm going to read out a review. You can guess the score or not. That won't matter as much in this format. But then, like these assigning lists, you have to assign what review site you think this is from without the context of the next reviews coming up.
Wait, it gets locked in?
It gets locked in.
No! That makes it easier for the listener, but harder for me!
Exactly. So in previous times, we did Rotten Tomatoes versus Letterboxd, and I kind of let you switch them up at the end.
Yes.
I kind of let you figure it out as you go. For these ones, I'm making you lock it in because it's funnier. It's like those, ranking foods 1 to 10, but you don't know which foods are coming up, right? Those, trendy videos.
Let's call this series either Reviewerama or Review Rumble.
Ooh, that's good. I was going to say ranking reviews.
That's pretty good because it implies that they stink because they're rank. But it
Yeah,
also
yeah.
implies that we're ranking them.
Yeah, that was going to be my idea. What was your two ideas, though?
Reviewerama or Review Rumble, but I like ranking reviews. That's very
Ranking
good.
Review Rumble. There you go.
The Ranking Review Rumble.
That's RRR, the Ranking Review Rumble. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay.
Very quickly, Editor Starkey, can you say it? And then if it sounds badass, that's the name from now on.
Welcome to the Ranking Review Rumble.
Ooh, yeah, okay.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah. All right. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So welcome to the first edition of Ranking Review Rumble. This is the part of the show where I get some amount of review sites and I grab a review from them, and Sandro has to guess in each review which site they are from and lock them in. And we'll see how many Sandro can get, because I have, to start us off, 4 review sites.
Okay, 4 review sites, and one is yours. Is that correct?
No. One of them isn't mine this time. However,
Okay.
I was thinking of adding my own one in.
Okay,
I was
all right.
thinking of it, but I was just like, I'm going to test the format for now, and we'll see how it goes.
Okay, let's see what happens then. Round 1.
And then after, I think in future ones, because I'm also going to mix up, what sites I might grab these from.
Yeah, definitely.
And whether or not I add myself in. In a way, I kind of have added myself in.
I mean, it's true. You have, by choosing the sites and choosing the reviews. Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you the review sites.
Mm-hmm.
So we have classics, Rotten Tomatoes, Letterboxd. Those are 2 of them. But for this edition, I have IMDb.
Oh, no.
Now, here's the thing. IMDb has demonstrously long reviews that I did not want to add. However, because they have such long reviews, the titles of the reviews are usually short, snippy reviews.
They do have review titles.
Yes. So I've taken the title of a review for their one. Because it's longer than some of the other reviews is the title of this review, right?
Classic IMDb. Okay, yep.
And I have grabbed a review from Amazon.
Oh boy. Like Amazon Prime or just Amazon?
From Amazon, the item distributor, I have grabbed a review from the product of the DVD that they sell on Amazon, which is why I knew this was on Prime, because they sell the DVD on Amazon.
Let's do it. Oh, and also, to give the audience a quick idea, because we haven't actually said this, and we probably won't.
Yeah.
I won't be prompted to, but the Rotten Tomatoes score, 71 from the critics, 68 from the audience. So positive, but not super duper positive.
Around the 70% is what I think I'd give this movie. I think is pretty good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's do it.
So you've got IMDb, Amazon, Rotten Tomatoes, and Letterboxd.
Yes, this will be fun.
So, starting with the first one.
Yes.
I've gotten these reviews from it, but I have changed the usernames as to make things harder for Sandro.
Yep.
Because some of the usernames are definitely more inclined to other sides. Some of them are people's names. So, I've changed them.
Okay, cool.
So, the first review is by Unnamed German Dictator.
Yes.
Who says, cool concept. Not the best execution. Would not watch. Painful acting.
Oh, immediately I'm getting IMDb review title. Just because it's like short sentences, and every time I go on IMDb, I feel like all of the review titles are like, was fun, hated this person, good effects. I don't know why. That's just always what I'm met with. And so I'm immediately going to lock that in, actually.
All right, so you're putting IMDb. Now, just to be clear, you cannot change this once you've locked it in.
I'm happy to lock this in. I'm happy to lock this one in.
All right, it's locked in.
It is given Rotten Tomatoes a little bit, but
yeah.
I think it sounds like an IMDb title. I'm just going to go with that.
No, that
straight
makes
off
sense.
the bat.
That makes sense. I think that's a fair pick. I think you've done well. Did you want to guess the score?
2.
Ooh.
Well, actually, isn't IMDb out of 10 though?
Yes, but I have kind of averaged it.
Okay, cool.
I am kind of fudging it a little bit.
Yeah,
because it is out of 10. So it's like if it's like a 9, right? I'm gonna put it as like a 4.5 because it's just like the highest.
Yeah, okay.
They could kind of go without giving it a 10 out of 10. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, you guessing a 2?
I'm gonna say 2.
Yeah. 2.5. 2.5.
Okay.
So middle of the road. So if they, for example, put a 5 out of 10, I would put it as a 2.5 as sort of middle of the road. All right. Next review is by Zach. Spelt with a K.
Oh.
Yeah. Splendidly singular and often stimulating sci-fi end-of-the-world sleeper.
Oh, I was going Rotten Tomatoes from the start to the end until you had said the word sleeper, and I'm like, that sounds like a film, bro. But I don't think you'd go on Letterboxd and get a normal review. So I'm actually going to say that one is Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay, all right.
And I'm going to say 4 out of 5.
Ooh, very close. That's a 4.5. Very close. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. The next review is by Zach with a C.
Yep. With a C, okay.
Yeah,
yes.
just like our movie protagonist.
Wait, like 2 C's?
No.
Or just
one. What are you on, Sandra? You got a little crazy over there.
I'd do it.
You're
I'd call a kid Zach with 2 C's.
You're a psychopath. You're crazy, dude. Bro, if I catch my friend of many years naming their son Zach, who I would presume is after me, but then he puts 2 C's just to be like, no, it's not after you, it's after a different Zach because he has 2 C's or some shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? All right. Zach says, this was a movie that sparked the survivor in me. Since then, I was always looking for it, even after all these years, and I still enjoy watching it again.
What does that even mean? That's such a film bro wanky. That's Letterboxd. That's a Letterboxd review.
All right, you're looking in Letterboxd.
Which means that the next one has to be Amazon. It's probably not going to be Amazon, but let's see.
Okay, all right. So the last one. Oh, what did you think they rated that one?
Oh, 5 out of 5.
You got that one correct. You did get that one. Well done,
Okay.
well done. That is 5 out of 5. The last one is by Zach with an H.
Yep.
Which says,
correct way.
This rules, full stop, kill God, full stop.
Fucking that one's Letterboxd, but it's Amazon, so
But you've already locked in Letterboxd.
it's gotta be Amazon. It's gotta be an Amazon review.
So we're putting this one as Amazon.
I'll say that's 4.5.
It's 4.5. Well done. All right. Well, you got the last two scores, which is pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah. Do you think you made any mistakes on your way here? Do you think?
I think the third review is actually Amazon, and the fourth review is actually Letterboxd. But I think the IMDb one and the Rotten Tomatoes one, I think I'm actually pretty spot on with those.
Okay. Well done. Well done. All right. Well, I will reveal to you that you got them all wrong. You were completely.
At least I got some scores right. I'll take that win.
You got the scores right, and you did realize your mistake at the end there for the last two that you did in fact switch them. Yeah.
Okay.
The third one was in fact Amazon. And I was wondering if you would pick up on since then I've always looked for it. It refers to the DVD that they are purchasing on Amazon.
Of course.
Yeah.
So the Survivor, It Awoken the Survivor in Me is Amazon. Kill God is the Letterboxd review.
Yes, Kill God.
Does that mean that the one that said there was bad acting is Rotten Tomatoes? That makes complete sense.
That's Rotten Tomatoes, yes.
And then the IMDb one was the one that called it a sleeper? Because that IMDb one is not a fucking review title. That's stupid. Why would you put that as your review title? It's like a full review.
Splendidly singular and often stimulating sci-fi end of the world sleeper.
That's such a long title for your
review. It's extremely long, and I liked it because it used S a lot. It had a lot of the sequility or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, this is gonna make me angry every week. I know for a fact. I'm gonna be mad every week.
No, but here's the funny thing, right? Is because you said that was very like film, bro. You know.
Yeah.
All that sort of thing. So that's the reason you gave it Rotten Tomatoes, but it was actually the same reason you gave IMDb, and you swapped those two, and I thought that was funny.
Very funny. Very, very good stuff. All right. There we go. That's the episode. That's a fun segment, and I can't wait to do it again next week.
I'll definitely make sure to put my own review in next time, so we can have that, and also to add more silly sites. Sandra, if you think there are any other sites I should put in, suggest it to me.
Common Sense Media, where parents go to review things that kids obviously shouldn't watch. You can read whether parents think that kids should watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's great, and I love it, and you should go there.
Absolutely.
It's the only one I can think of.
I will definitely add that. And if you, listener, have any ideas, please let us know. Please leave a comment. Please share the show with your friends. Please just tell a person, be like, hey, have you heard this show? It's Two Funny White Guys. I'm pretty sure no other podcast exists like it. And yeah, tell them your favorite episode. Tell which movie you like. If you watched a movie from us, suggestions and or listening to this, cool. Good job.
Yeah, pretty cool. Drop a comment on YouTube. Our YouTube's doing very well over there, so go say hi on YouTube if you want. Review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify as well. That helps out. If you've got some spare money and you want to help us out more than the normal person, patreon.com/oldiebuddygoodypod helps pay for our editor and also helps us talk about X-Men movies, because that's what we do over there. We have an ongoing series of bonus episodes, one a month, where we're talking about X-Men. We just did X-Men Apocalypse. That's a fucking long episode. Probably longer than this. So go have a listen to that episode. It's very long.
It is very long.
And we did the entire X-Men series up there, which you can get for now if you just subscribe to our $3 tier. We also are doing Logan this week. That's the next X-Men one. Zach, I think we got to record that one this week, actually, because that's out on Wednesday. So we got to we got to do that one. So that'll be good fun. Little Logan review. I'm excited for that one.
I do like Logan. Logan's one. Spoiler. I like Logan a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to this.
But yeah, go catch up on our X-Men reviews if you haven't yet. They are what a franchise. Anyway,
it has been a journey.
It has indeed. But Zach, now is the time of the show where you pick movie for next week out of the options I have picked, and they're all connected to the Quiet Earth.
Oh, my first pick of the year. I'm very excited. Yes. Because this is going to dictate how well the rest of the year will go. You could argue that's for this movie, but I would say the movie that we just watched is how well they will go for you, Sandro. Because you picked it out of my options, whereas this is like how good my movies will go.
And I think I've got 4 movies that I've picked, and I genuinely think all 4 of them will be good.
Okay,
and I'm not just saying that as a troll. Even though one does have below 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, I still think it looks very good.
Okay,
and I don't mean that in so bad it's good. I genuinely mean
here's
it.
Here's the statement, though, right? That I liked about that, because you only said one of them was below, which implies that the other 3 are above. So that it's already a good sign for me. So I'm okay with this, all right? Knowing me, I'm going to hit the 1 and 4.
Maybe. Look, who knows? That might be the one I want you to hit. Who knows?
That's true. That's true.
I'm happy with any of these, because I picked them. 4 movies, all connected to Quiet Earth. What I'm going to do is, we have a variety of ways where we make each other pick movies.
Yes. We've experimented.
Sometimes we just get Patreon to pick it. That's
true.
Fun.
That was cool.
We will be doing that in the middle of the year when we get the month of Zach, month of Sandro.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's fun to look forward to. But what I'm going to do is very similar to what we were doing at the end of last year. So I have got a bunch of categories, like genres. For example, we've done actors before, and I'm going to tell you. For example, this first one is genre. I'm going to give you 4 genres.
Okay.
And you're going to have to be like, ooh, I like that genre, that genre, that genre. You have points that you can give out. You've got 1 point, 2 points, 3 points. One movie's not going to get any points. Because there's 4 options. One of the things I say, you're going to have to give 0 points, then one of them 1. You're basically ranking them, but the one that you like the least just isn't going to get any points, because I wanted this one to be brutal.
Picking movies, rumble.
Yay!
Let's go.
Okay, let's do genre. First genre as well. First genre, because I've got 2 genre categories. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Horror.
Ooh, nice. I like horror.
Action.
We like horror. Action. There's the action slop that I was talking about earlier.
Sci-fi.
Oh, well, we just watched a sci-fi, so presumably, I can see the connection.
Comedy.
Comedy, a scary concept.
We have a bad track record with comedies.
However, you did say there was a lot of positive reviews, which implies it's a good comedy. So
yes.
I'm going to give the comedy... I'm going to give it a... Ooh. I think I'll give it the 2.
Oh, 2 points to the comedy.
2 points to the comedy. I'm going to give 1 point to the sci-fi.
Ooh, intriguing. Okay.
Actually, I'm going to give 0 to the sci-fi. I'm going to because I'm having a bit of I've just watched a sci-fi, so I want to watch something different sort of vibe. Yeah, I know.
I was about to say no take backsies, but yeah, go for it.
Yeah, okay, you just allow it.
Yeah, I'll allow it. So you got a 1 and a 3 to give out.
You know what?
To
I'm going to give the
horror
comedy
action.
the 3, actually.
Oh, God. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You're really shaking things up.
I'm thinking about it. I'm sorry. I know you've been writing this down already, but I'm changing my mind. I want to give comedy the 3, because I like the idea of the comedy. I'm going to give the action the 2, the horror 1, and...
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sci-fi gets a 0. Okay, well, maybe we'll spice things up a little bit more when we do the second genre, because most movies have 2 genres. This is the sub-genre. You ready?
Yeah.
Psychological.
Ooh. So I'm guessing that goes with the horror, but I'm not sure.
Well, I randomize the order I read these out in, so sometimes they could be something different. Who knows? Psychological, first one. Fantasy.
Yep.
Gothic.
Ooh.
And
could be a gothic horror, actually.
Puppets. Is a genre, technically. Fuck you.
3 to puppets. 3.
Oh, fuck. All right. Yep.
Put 3 on puppets.
3 to puppets.
First thing I need to do. I want to put 3 on the best genre of movie, puppets.
Puppets. Yippee!
Oh. Oh, good. Oh, man. But then I've got some really good ones. I like all of these
Gothic,
genres.
fantasy, psychological, yeah.
That really sucks because all the other category, like, these ones are really good. But I have to give 3 to puppets.
Fair enough.
I have
to
give
go all
3
in
to
on puppets, I guess.
Absolutely. I'll put 1 on psychological.
Ooh, interesting.
And then 2 on the fantasy?
2 on fantasy or 2 on gothic?
Maybe I'll put 2 on psychological.
Oh,
and
okay.
1 on fantasy.
1 on fantasy.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Very, very interesting. All right. Well, let's move it along. I've got some categories I've already prepared. You can also ask questions if you want. The categories I've got prepared, and you can pick from them if you want. Colors. It's a classic on the show. We've done colors before.
Love colors.
Connections. I'm just going to give you my connection.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And I also had if they were other movies, but they were also bad movies.
That's a classic. That's a good one.
My other pre-prepared.
I like some colors. Let's get
All
some
right,
colors.
let's do
Colors is always good.
All right, the colors are red and yellow.
Red and yellow. Ooh, 2 primes. We likey.
Red and yellow, but also black.
Ooh. It's like Sandro, and then it cuts to you with sunglasses on. Cooler Sandro.
Yeah, exactly. You also got red and blue, a classic.
Red and blue, some more primes.
And every color.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It's a busy poster for that one. The poster's very busy.
Every color?
A lot going on.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I am both intrigued and terrified of every color.
This is fair.
I'm going to put 3 on Sandro, but cooler.
Red and yellow, but also black.
But also 3. Black. Yeah, that gets 3 because that's
fair.
hype.
I thought that one would vibe with you, definitely.
That was very hype. I'll put 1 on every color because I'm intrigued, but I'm also terrified.
It's completely fair. You got a 2 then. A 2 for red and yellow or red and blue.
That's very funny. Because I could just dunk on red and blue. No, I'll give it to red and blue as well.
Okay.
I'll give red and blue some love.
All right.
So I think number 1 got screwed there by just number 2 getting
it's true.
The cool treatment.
It's true.
But yeah,
let's keep that going with the connections. Then we'll do connections. You're gonna get my connections.
That'd be good. Yeah.
My connections are dark comedy.
Yep, dark comedy. Ooh,
dark comedy. Post-apocalyptic. Technically, is not a stretch, as we discussed earlier. Also have the actor Bruno Lawerence, who's the main guy in Quiet Earth, so another movie with him in it.
Oh, so there's a New Zealand one, probably. Absolutely, yeah.
And then also, probably my favorite connection that I've ever written down, the sun is going to kill us. The 4th one there.
Now, so this is interesting, because it's like, I could pick on what I want to watch, or I could pick on what connection I want you to use up for your next pick. Because I know
you could game the system.
I could game the system because the sun wants to kill us is just a really funny fucking connection. I'm gonna give it a 3 to the sun.
The sun? Yeah, that's fair.
What's the connection? Sorry, say it again.
The sun is going to kill us.
The sun is going to kill us. It doesn't want. It's going to.
It's going to. It's definitely going to happen.
Okay, I'll give 2 to New Zealand actor boy.
Okay, 2 to Bruno Lawerence.
Because New Zealand by a ship.
Yep.
And what's the other 2 connections?
Post-apocalyptic or dark comedy.
It's only 1 point. I'll give it to the comedy. Yeah.
Dark comedy gets a point. All right, cool. Okay, now this is the 4 movies, but if there were other movies, but those movies were bad.
Okay.
Armageddon.
There's your post-apocalyptic. Yeah.
We hate that movie. Armageddon.
Speak for yourself. I think everything Michael Bay has done is good, actually. And I haven't seen any Transformers movie.
That's true. We have The Happy Time Murders. I'm sure you remember what The Happy Time Murders is.
Good fun.
adult puppet murder mystery thing. Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters. I don't know if you've seen that one.
I have not, but I know of it.
And finally, the movie adaptation of Aragon, which is a piece of shit, unlike the book.
I had that on DVD.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it. I just know it's bad.
Wow, I've seen it multiple times because I had it on DVD. It was part of a box set.
But
the DVD had Night at the Museum, Aragon, and one other movie that I can't remember.
That's a banging collection, though.
Yeah. It was like toy soldiers in disguise or something. The one where the toys come alive. I think was the other one.
Small soldiers. Yeah,
Small soldiers.
That's the one you're thinking of. Yes.
All right. I'm gonna give.
This is hard because
yeah,
they're all bad movies, but it's like the good version of the bad movie. But you still can't shake the concept of the bad movie from your head.
3 to the Hansel and Gretel one because that sounds silly.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Well, I don't know what that could be referring to, so.
Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters? That's fair. That's probably the vaguest out of all of these.
It's the vaguest, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm feeling I could throw some points that one. And then, what was the first one? Oh, that was Armageddon, wasn't it?
Armageddon, Aragon, Happy Time Murders.
Ooh. I'll give 2 to Aragon.
Ooh, nice. I like that.
Because it's not Aragon, right? It's a fantasy one, but it's not Aragon. And then 1 I'll give to Happy Time Murders.
Fuck, really? Okay, yeah, fair.
Yeah, well, fuck Armageddon, man.
I would do the same thing. I just wasn't expecting you, because I hate that movie, but you hate it more than me, so I wasn't expecting you to give a point to Happy Time Murders over Armageddon. All right, that shaked up the points
Happy Time
quite
Murders,
a lot.
right?
No, it's not.
Stop saying I'm giving points to Happy Time Murders, because it's not. I'm giving to the movie like Happy Time Murders, but hopefully
what if it is, though? No, that's not the case. Oh, what if I can't find a connection between them, so actually I wouldn't be able to do that.
Please.
Okay, I've run out of pre-prepared ones, and we have ties, so you need to ask questions.
All right, that's all right. I've been brewing one up. All right,
I bet you have.
Okay. If these movies were to have a New Year's resolution, what New Year's resolution would they come up with?
Okay.
Like for the sun's gonna kill us, right? Maybe it's like wear more sunscreen is the
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna steal that one, actually. No, I won't do that, but that would be very funny if I did. Okay, I have some resolutions here for each movie. Now, these are very silly, and maybe too specific, but I'm a fan of them. Okay.
All right.
The first one I'm going to say is quite simple. Sharpen their creative skills. They want to, really hone their skills in being creative. So that's that one. One of them is face their fear of flying creatures. They're really scared of flying creatures. They want to face that fear.
That's cool.
Reconnect with long-lost family.
Okay.
And then also be more conscious about their carbon footprint, save the planet sort of thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like all these because these sound like legitimate like New Year's resolutions, but also sound like they're oddly specific to these movies.
I don't know what you mean.
Like I don't like how you emphasize sharpening on these skills, you know? Really sharp, you know?
I did not mean to, or maybe I did.
Very pointed about that, Sandro. What was the second one you said?
I don't remember. I read them out of order. There was creative skills, fear of flying creatures,
I'm
long lost family,
fear
carbon
of flying creatures 3 because that sounds like the silliest.
Yeah, all right, fair.
Then I'm gonna give I'll give carbon footprint 1.
Okay.
And then it was sharpening creative skills, and what was the other one?
Connecting with long lost family.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna give sharpening the skills 2.
2.
Because long lost family, I'm like, man, whatever. That's a lame New Year's resolution, you know? That's not that's something you should just do anyway and not make a resolution.
That's something
right?
that someone would
like
be
the other one sounds like good like New Year's resolutions, right?
Yeah.
That's the only one I can pinpoint that's like it's a bit meh.
No, for sure. I getcha. All right, we need one more.
Yes. So Sandro, for my next question, I want to say, if these movies suddenly awoke to a post-apocalyptic situation, what's the first thing they would do? Like, for example, if suddenly all the other people in the world disappeared, what's the first, like, thing they would do? Feel free to take inspiration from the movie we just watched.
I will.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
For example, maybe the first thing they would do is play pool with themselves.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh dear. Okay. All right. Okay. I've got my answers already. That was quite quick.
All right. Hit me with them.
Okay. Some of these are long, so just bear with me. Okay. Number 1 would be use science to figure it out.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Use science to figure it out. Next one would grab a dress and also a gun.
Ooh,
yeah. Very specific to the movie, but also to the one that I picked. So,
nice.
got that one.
I like it.
We've got one movie would be like, I was already in a post-apocalyptic world. What the fuck? At least I've trained for this, though.
So that's from the fucking post-apocalyptic movie. Yeah, gotcha.
And then the final one is they would use their telepathic powers to search for survivors.
Ooh.
Yes. Be like, oh, but I'm a telepath. I'm gonna find people.
Ooh. Okay.
Mm.
I'm gonna give 1 point to the I was already in a post-apocalyptic situation, so I'll at least I'm good for this one.
Yeah.
Because I mean that's fair, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll give 2 to psychic powers.
Ooh, okay.
Because that's original at least. That's cool.
Mm.
And then the second one was get a gun and a dress.
Get a gun and a dress.
I'm going to give 3 to a gun and a dress.
Oh, we have a very clear winner.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here we go. You have picked so this movie was in the lead from the get-go and then fell behind midway through.
Ooh.
And now is right back up there again.
Yay.
So this seems like it was always going to be the winner. I'm going to go through them from the lowest upwards. We actually have a tie for last place.
Okay, interesting. I don't know if that's happened before.
Not for last place, no. So one of them is called Sunshine. It is a sci-fi movie about the sun going to blow up and people go out on a ship. They're going to try and save the world. But it's got twists and turns and shit.
Very
it looks really fun.
Armageddon-y sort of like vibes from that one. Yep.
Armageddon, but good is definitely the vibe for that one. Yeah. And then the one it tied with is called Reign of Fire, which is a post-apocalyptic movie set in the future about dragons. So dragons, but it's the future, so they have machine guns. But it's dragons and it's medieval, but it's the future.
That sounds cool. I like the sound of that one. I'm kind of sad that one didn't win. But...
No, I mean that's one I've wanted to watch that for a very long time, so I'm going to keep that one going for a bit. I think.
That one sounds sick.
Coming in second place was a New Zealand film called Jack Be Nimble.
I see Jack and the Beanstalk. You got your Jack and Jills. You're like, yeah, Jack Be Nimble.
Which is about 2 long lost like orphans reunite. I think one of them's crazy and one of them's psychic or something. I'm not entirely sure, but it's like this New Zealand horror film. Looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. I would have liked that one.
But Zach, out of all of the things I told you, all the things you voted on, is there one genre that you see missing here out of the 3 movies?
Nope. I think that's it. I think that's all of them.
Maybe something a bit furry?
Furry?
Yeah, it's got like some fur on it. Might not be human. Maybe it's like puppeteered by someone.
Puppets?
That's right, Zach.
Oh my god, it's Sesame Street, the movie.
Something worse. The winner is, we've already done his debut film. But Peter Jackson, I don't know if you knew this, he also, he made a lot of horror films before Lord of the Rings.
Fuck me.
One of them is a puppet musical called Meet the Feebles.
Yeah.
And the movie that you've picked is Meet the Feebles.
Meet the Feebles. You know what?
Which is about a sleazy, it's the Muppets, but it's fucked.
Here's the thing. This is the original, like, we saw another, like, Puppets but they fuck movie.
Happy Time Murders, yeah.
Yeah, Happy Time Murders, which is the bad version of this movie, apparently.
Yeah.
So I was talking with a guy who I met who was really into films, and this was one of the films he suggested we do. So I'm also been thinking of doing this movie as well.
Is that so? Well, how about that?
I mean, when you put one of the genres as puppets, I gotta give it 3 points, you know?
I did kind of set you up for this one. Well, not really. I did put some pretty bad stuff in there for it.
Yeah.
But, okay, next week we're doing Meet the Feebles. I'm excited.
Hey, another... This is New Zealand, right?
Yeah, it is. That's right.
Yeah, there you go. And what the connection for this one?
The connection for this one was dark comedy because
there you go.
I wanted to do this movie really badly because it was also a New Zealand film and quite Earth reminded me of it, but I couldn't find any direct connections, so I had to go for a loose one, and dark comedy was the one that I went for.
I think dark comedy is a good connection. You know?
We haven't used it yet, so it's there.
Yeah, it's almost a bit of a shame that dark comedy's gone. However, I think it's a good use for it.
Definitely, I agree.
Well,
anyway,
we'll see if it's a good use for it when we watch.
This could go. We liked his. So we saw Peter Jackson's Bad Taste. If you haven't, go back and have a listen to that episode from a couple years ago.
Is a passion project. It's great.
So I'm excited to see what he does with this one because I
think I'm probably going to enjoy this a lot.
This is his follow-up as well. This is his next movie.
That's crazy.
That he made after that one. So
I feel like this one's going to have like a budget though, right? Surely.
Well, it's under $1 million, so who knows really? We'll see.
How much but all of that's got to be spending on like puppets, right?
Well, Bad Taste costs like $25,000. So Meet the Feebles is a pretty big jump up from that.
Yeah. I think we're going to see a big production hike because of that, right? Because now he actually has a budget and he's able to spend. Because the great thing about this is like the person who didn't have anything to make their passion project movie now is given money and can make something that looks better.
Definitely.
I'm hoping it's like they still make do with what they have, but they are able to spend on what they need, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's what I'm getting from the looks of this movie, but we'll see how we go.
All right, we'll do that. Oh, no, I've set you up for doing the fucking Hobbit trilogy as well.
Yeah.
I've set you up for pulling that card. I didn't even realize. I forgot the Hobbit trilogy, the trilogy card with you, and you can play it at any point. Oh, dear. We'll find out if Zach does that next week.
I'd rather do the entirety of the Lord of the Rings, to be honest.
I would quit the show. No, I'm joking. I would definitely want to watch those again.
That's like a 6-episode special where we talk about half of the fucking movie.
Yeah, exactly.